Hey everyone, welcome back to Wimpy Studio. It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded a video, mostly because it's been a busy summer. I've had my IU orientation, I've been door dashing a lot. I just got back from vacation where we went on a civil rights tour, which was a lot of fun. We toured several museums, like the Legacy Museum in Montgomery. We went to the bombing at the 16th Street Baptist Church, or not the bombing, where the church, that church that was bombed with the 4 little girls that died. We visited that. So it was really appealing, and then we went to Miramar Beach in Florida, and Destin, Florida. So the vacation was very relaxing, and it's been very busy summer overall. And I wish I've uploaded more, but I feel like this is the perfect time to get back into these weekly podcast episodes because we have the Summer I Turned Pretty, which comes out this Wednesday. So let's get started with that. So the first 2 episodes are dropping Wednesday. So my guess is they confirmed a while back there would be supersized episodes. I think the first episode could be a supersized episode. And by that, I mean anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. I'm going to lean more towards the hour end of that, but it could very well be a 90-minute episode. It's interesting if they did have that and then release a second episode. That would be a real treat, not going to lie. So I don't really know what to expect. I mean, I could open up my app on Wednesday morning, and it could be, they're both 45-minute episodes. I doubt it. The episodes are a little bit longer than the average show. Like, they're more like 50 minutes around there, instead of 40 for a typical drama. So, I don't know. I'm thinking the first episode will at least be an hour, and the second episode might be around 50 minutes. But my guess is for this first episode, we're gonna mostly be getting a lot of Belly and Jeremiah at Finch. I think we're gonna get to see that whole field day thing. We saw that in a few shots of the trailer. A lot of those feel good moments from the teaser, especially, are going to be in this first episode. Probably some of the montage moments, I would guess. There's only a few moments from the trailers that I feel like are later on in the season, but a lot of them, like the field day thing, they're making out in the library, they're on a bench outside there, he's helping her move in. A lot of that's going to be episode 1. Now, I've read this thing somewhere that said it's 2 years in the future, and then I've read somewhere that said it's 4 years in the future. What is it? I don't know. They say in several synopsises it's the end of her junior year. She ended season 2 going into her senior year, I think. So she just ended her junior year of high school and going into her senior year of high school. So it would be 4 years. No, it's just an interesting time jump. I mean, obviously, you kind of have to cut to college. It's going to be like the end of the year, because it says, like, on the shot, it says finals week or whatever. So they're doing like a spirit week field day thing for finals week. I guess just like have some fun, uplifting, whatever. But I think it is the 4 years, and for some reason they're just not marketing it correctly, because it makes sense that they're aging them up a little bit, because the end of her junior year of college would mean she's like 21. She could very well be 21. Jeremiah's a year older, so he's 22. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit off here, but I feel like that's like a reasonable age to get married. I know people get married later on. In the books, she's younger. She's like 19, I think, and he's like 20. So they've aged them up. So it's interesting that Laurel is still very much you're not ready, unless it's mostly about the cheating. I mean, but she says you're too young, and I'm like, maybe because she's still in college, maybe that's why. It could very well be that, because she's still in college. And I do think there's a point to be made that you should wait until you're out of college to get married. So maybe she has a point there. I don't know. But, yeah, obviously that's the main plot, and I wonder how long is this plot gonna last before we get into Paris. I've read something somewhere the wedding plot's gonna go into like episode 8, and then we'll get 3 episodes in Paris. I read something somewhere that the wedding plot's wrapping up in episode 5, and we'll get 6 episodes in Paris or whatnot. I don't know. With how, like, I mean, unless these episodes are longer, I feel like the wedding's gonna probably go for half the season, if not more. Like, there's a lot of plot there to go through. A lot. You also have the matter of Steven's car accident. Where does that fit into all of this? I feel like it's that first half. It could very well be in the first episode as the cliffhanger or second episode. We'll see. I read something somewhere that just came out that said Steven's arc wraps earlier than all the other characters, and that got people scared to think he's going to die from the wreck. But I just think that his car crash is going to happen early on, episode 1 or 2, and him and Taylor will work through their stuff, and they'll be fine, and then they'll just kind of be more supporting characters for the rest of the season, which I'm fine with, because they really, want to focus our attention to this love triangle, and especially Belly and Conrad, which is what those final few episodes are going to be. Now, I mentioned this on the channel before. I'm Team Jeremiah, but I'm not in denial about their end game. Like, I've gotten over it. I know that they're not going to be end game. I'm just going to enjoy whatever journey they give them. I know it's going to end in heartbreak. I know I'm going to be pissed probably at both of them, especially Jeremiah, with how things are going to go down. I'm just going to enjoy what they give us. The trailer, they're very feel good in it, which is just interesting. How much stuff they're giving us in the trailer, because it's clearly bait. Like, they're trying to make you think Belly and Jeremiah will somehow end up together, but book readers know what's going to happen, and they're not going to change the end game. They're just not. That would be crazy. I would be shocked. Or they could say she ends up by herself, but, like, people are going to be pissed off there, too. So I feel like it's natural she's going to end up with Conrad. But alas, though, there's some new characters coming in. They've actually just started rolling out some behind-the-scenes videos introducing each of them. So we have Annika, who is Belly's roommate at Finch. And because Taylor's in her own sorority, so Belly has her own roommate at wherever their the main campus is there at Finch. So I didn't realize that Belly, Taylor, and Jeremiah were all at Finch, but that's interesting to me. And Steven goes to Princeton, but he might already be graduated by the time. I think he's already graduated by the time this has happened, because he's working at Adam's internship. And Conrad is med student in California. So we're skipping a lot of time here. So, but basically, we're getting Annika as another friend to Belly, and I honestly wonder if she's going to be more Team Conrad and pushing her towards Conrad, because we know that Taylor prefers Jeremiah, and that's going to create like a clash at some point. I could very well see that, because I know a lot of people get upset with Taylor for being so pro Jeremiah. I think part of it is because of how Conrad apparently treated her in the past, and part of it too, she just likes Jeremiah's vibes better, and she's attracted more to that type rather than the broody type, which I think I would probably be more golden retriever than broody, but that's just me. I know everyone has a different opinion to it, but I'm looking forward to seeing Annika. I'm glad to see Belly have a new friend outside of Taylor, and someone who's going to challenge her in a different way than Taylor does. We also have Redbird, who is just a good friend of Jeremiah's from the fraternity. He doesn't. I don't know. He seems like a little bit of like an oddball. Like, doesn't really fit into the group, but I don't know. He seems like a little obnoxious. Probably going to be an annoying character if you ask me. And then today they just announced Denise, who works at the internship with Steven and Jeremiah. So we'll see what her character is going to be, because the Denise in the books, I don't know if this is the same Denise, because I'm pretty sure it was Denise Coletti in the books who worked for Adam as like the wedding planner. And I mean, I guess it's the same Denise because she works for Adam here, but her last name's Russo. So I don't know why they changed her last name. But they're apparently giving her a bigger role, like a whole plot. She's a series regular, for God's sake. Like, she's going to have a big role, and my guess is that she's going to be who Jeremiah will end up with by the end of the show, because they got to give Jeremiah someone. They're not going to have him end up alone, like how Conrad did at the end of season 2. And I know people are saying Jeremiah deserves to end up alone. No, he doesn't, okay? He deserves to find love like everyone else. Like, all the 4 other people in that core 5 are going to have their love. Like, he deserves someone too, and someone that's not Lacey, obviously, or Annika or someone like that. So the other one that they might maybe introduce tomorrow, there's 2 more new characters. probably will get one Monday and one Tuesday. The first one is Agnes, who we did see in the trailer, so not much of a surprise, but that's Conrad's fling from California. I don't know how involved she's going to be because she was in like one scene in the books. Now, my guess is we'll see her in Conrad's point of view episode, whatever that is. Probably earlier on in the season, I'm guessing. We'll see her then. We might see her... I don't know. I don't know. We might just see her in the one episode, but I think they'll flesh her out a little bit more than they did in the books, is my guess. Give her a little bit more of a role. I don't think we'll see her be an official girlfriend of Conrad's, but I could be surprised, and we will see it. I don't know. And then the other main character, this is a series regular, is I don't remember her name, the character's name, but I know it's Taylor's mom. Is going to be in it. So I don't know what that means. I guess Taylor's going to have her own arc in a sense, which will be interesting. I don't really know. I assume she'll be maybe helping planning some of the wedding stuff as well, for Belly, but we don't have much to really theorize about her character. We haven't met her. We don't know much about Taylor's parents, so we'll see. And then one character I assume they're not going to introduce is Lacey, because she's such a controversial character, because it's who Jeremiah, spoiler, cheats with. I assume everyone knows that by now who's listening to this. But we didn't see her at all. We know the actress who plays her because I see Reddit leaks and all that, but we don't see Lacey in any of the trailer footage at all. The closest we get to a hint as to what is going on here is Belly running away from, we assume, Jeremiah's party, in that dress that's described in the book. So she finds out. They're going forward with the Lacey plot. She finds out. I don't know. People were theorizing they were going to drop that plot, but I knew they wouldn't. It's too central to the book for them to just drop it. That would take away the plot from the whole season, basically. That's what starts the whole season's conflict and the drama, is her finding out that Jared cheated. I don't like that he cheated. I think it's a disservice to his character, but I always knew it was going to happen. I knew they were going to take away that plot. And I think a lot of Jer fans are in denial, and I say that in the kindest way possible. They're in denial. They want, the best ending ever possible for Jeremiah, knowing that he's not going to end up with Belly, so they're trying to make shortcuts to take out the worst parts of his character from book 3. And I think they'll make him more likable overall. I feel like they have to. He was kind of a douche in book 3, and Conrad wasn't a saint either. But I'm curious as to how they're going to... we know that Conrad's going to be coming back from California, and him and Belly are going to, become friends again. My question is, how is this going to translate to an endgame? Because we know she's going to go to Paris. Do they end things before she goes to Paris? Do her and Conrad have a moment before she leaves where they talk and she says, "I love you too, but I need time"? We could definitely see that, because we know he's going to confess his feelings to her the night or two before the wedding. It might be 2 nights before the wedding, but we know that's going to happen. It's probably 2 nights before the wedding. We know that's going to happen. So I feel like she's going to say, "I love you too, and I want to be with you, but I need time to myself," considering she just left the altar, them at the altar. We assume she leaves Jer at the altar. I don't know, though. I think that's kind of cruel. Personally, I would rather her just not show up to the altar than to go up and walk away from him. I don't know. But I do think she'll spend some time in Paris, and then we know that Jeremiah will come to her at one point, and we'll get closure there, because we're not going to get closure, after the wedding. We're going to, he'll come to her there, and they'll talk and all that, and they'll work things out, and then we'll get Conrad. And they'll be sending each other letters as well. We know that. So I think I don't know, are we going to get a Belly Conrad? Are they going to get together before the finale? We'll see. Look, if they're going to spend half the season in Paris, which would be crazy, considering that means the trailer would have just shown the first 5, maybe 6 episodes. And there's a lot going on in this trailer and in the teaser as well. There's been 0 hints to Paris. None. So, I don't know. I feel like it's more likely we're going to get like 3 episodes in Paris. But if they give us more, I could easily see them giving us, I say us, not meaning I like them together, but giving us like 3, like maybe 3 full episodes or 2 full episodes of just Belly and Conrad like together as a couple before they get married. Because I know nobody likes the ending of book 3 in the sense of how rushed it was with the Belly Conrad endgame. Nobody likes that. They want to flesh that out for those fans as well. So because they're giving Belly and Jeremiah a lot of, content for the book. They gave them a lot, like 90% of the book was Belly and Jer, and then 10% at the end or whatever was Conrad. For this, I feel like they're going to do 50-50. It might be more like a 60-40 by the time it all rolls out with Jer. But, season 1 had a lot of Conrad in it, and so did the first 3 episodes of season 2. So I don't know. They have to even it out, even the scales out somehow with that. But I do think probably Jared will get a little bit more. They'll do more with that relationship, for the first half of the season. And it might, I can't really guess how long they're going to spend in Paris when she's going to go to Paris, because it could be as early as episode 5, could be late as episode 9. I don't know. I'm curious as to, because we're not going to find out until like mid to late August. We still have another month until we find out that type of stuff. Right now, we focused on the first 2 episodes. So, really looking forward to them on Wednesday. They're releasing them at 3 a.m. though, which sucks. But I can just wake up Wednesday morning and watch it. It's fine. And then I go to college in mid-August, which means I'm going to have about, 5 episodes off to watch there. I'll just wake up early and watch them. I'm not going to go my whole day thinking about what's going to happen. I mean, I could and then have something to look forward to, but then I can't look at my phone at all because I don't get spoilers. And I really don't want to get spoilers for this show in particular, because this is the most excited I've been for a show in a long time. Being for real. So that's all I have to say about the Summer I Turned Pretty, though. Let me know down below what you're looking forward to for season 3 and what team you're on, Team Conrad or Jeremiah. Okay, moving on. My Life with the Walter Boys season 2 is coming out August 28th. A week off from the rumored release date of August 21st. Now, I am shocked that they are dropping this in the middle of the Summer I Turned Pretty. Fans are not going to know what they're going to do with themselves because a lot of fans overlap from both shows. So, yeah, they're going to have 5, well, not 5. People are going to binge watch My Life with the Walter Boys. But still, that's the thing with the Netflix binging, is that you binge it all. That's what you're supposed to do. And I'm probably going to do that on that Labor Day weekend. I'm glad it's coming out then. So I'll have all weekend to watch that and get caught up on it, and then go into the next week for the Summer I Turned Pretty or whatnot. But yeah, basically, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I read the second book that came out a couple of months ago. I talked about it on this podcast, actually. And Ali Novak said that the second book and the second season are going to be different stories. So that makes it, to me, it seem like they might not have her end up with Cole by the end of season 2. Are they going to repeat the formula? The question is, are they going to repeat the formula of the Summer I Turned Pretty and have her end up with Alex in season 2 and then have her end up with Cole for season 3? That's kind of lazy. That's so predictable. I think she'll end up with Cole. I think Alex is going to go down on his own path. And I think differently than Jeremiah, they're not going to go as far with Jackie and Alex. Like season 1, the second half or whatever, that was their time as a couple. They're not going to go there again. They're just going to be friends. Her and Cole will probably end up together by the end of season 2. Now, they got renewed for a season 3, so whatever that means, I don't know. They could very well have her end up with Alex, or they could have her end up with Alex by the end of season 3 and Cole by the end of season 2. I don't know what they're going to do. Now, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like either of the options for her, nor do I like Jackie all that much as a character. Not gonna lie, I mean she's okay, but I don't know. I preferred Cole just a little bit more because he had a little bit more depth to his character, and I could try to root for him more. Where I felt like Alex was just kind of cringe and weird. Now season 2 though, they gave Alex a huge glow up. I'm like, that is this the same guy? Like, yeah, like yeah, he looked fine. Not gonna lie, he looked fine in that teaser. So that's making me want to kind of root for him again because I don't like that bleach blonde hair on Cole. I did it in season 1, and I don't like it here in season 2. I don't know why they didn't just give him his natural darker blonde. I don't know, because I think it looks way better on him than this bleach blonde. Unless they want to try to differentiate, like one guy has to have brown hair and the other has to have blonde hair. I don't think so. They look very different, so it's fine to have them have similar hair colors, in my opinion. But, whatever. I right now obviously I'm hoping her and Cole can work their things out, but they'll get me over to Team Alex in season 2. We'll see. I'm just not as invested in this show as The Summer I Turned Pretty, so I'm really surprised they're dropping it in the middle of The Summer I Turned Pretty. I thought they were going to wait till it was all over and then have, the fandoms go wild in October or whatever, but they're not. They're taking a risk, and I hope it works out for them. I'm sure it will, because there's a lot of fans of this show. It was a hit when it came out. It's going to be a hit when season 2 comes out. And it's been, over a year and a half. So I understand they want to get it out. They don't want to wait 2 years. They don't want to wait, almost 3 years for Wednesday, which comes out next month, which I don't watch, so I'm not going to be reviewing it. But yeah, I'll be reviewing My Life with the Walter Boys when it comes out on Netflix. I'll talk about my thoughts in it a little bit. I mean, I might honestly split it up into its own review. We'll see. It's kind of hard to talk about 10 episodes in a podcast when you're talking about other things. Just saying. Okay, so let's talk Superman. On vacation, we went to this AMC dine-in movie theater, which was really interesting. You ordered your food at the counter, and then they brought it to you. Now, we didn't get reclining seats, unfortunately, which was kind of a bummer, but it was still a really nice theater nonetheless. The movie itself was really good, really good. I don't think I liked it as well as Thunderbolts because it had a bit too much science fiction weirdness for my liking. Like, I don't like those big monsters. I just don't. They're weird, they're creepy, they don't add anything to the story. The whole idea of a rift is so overused, like a rift to divide everything, that's so overused. Now, what I liked about this movie is the political aspect to it. You had the war, you had the weird president guy, you had Lex Luthor, you had all this manipulating, and, the idea that it is okay to be human, and that Superman is human. He has layers to him. He's not perfect. The Superman that we know of, before this movie, he's kind of like a normal, kind of boring guy. He doesn't have much layers to him. He's like, no faults. And this movie began with him getting his ass beat. They wanted to take a different route to Superman and make him human, make him, like, you wanted to root for him, make him relatable. And they did that for this movie. And the actor, David Coruscant or something like that, did a great job playing him, because he's not the typical Superman. He's not like a big, jacked, he's nice looking, he's fit, he is jacked, but not like extremely jacked. He fits the role perfectly. I thought Lois played her role perfectly, and you were rooting for them, but they didn't take up too much screen time either from you. Like, they had like maybe 3 scenes, but the 3 scenes that they had were so impactful. And the beginning scene with her interviewing him was a great scene because they let it play out. They didn't just stop it and cut to the next scene. I've had issues with that in TV before, but it was really well done, their relationship. I like their relationship a lot. Lex Luthor was a great bad guy, like a great actor too. And then his ending scene where he's just started crying, I think he has a lot of potential as an actor, and I don't know what his role is going to be in the future, if we'll see him pop back up in anything more. I feel like he's a good villain, though. He was good for this movie, too. So I liked him a lot. What else? I liked the subplot with, like, the girl who worked for Lex, his ex, and the Jimmy, the reporter guy, their little relationship and how she took pictures, of Lex's top secret stuff and sent it to Jimmy as a way to expose him. I thought that was really smart of her, and how he was not into her at all was hilarious, but how he just wanted the information. I hope he'll maybe give her a chance. I don't know. I mean, I know she's obnoxious and everything, but she's clearly not as dumb as she comes out to be. So yeah, I liked. I thought that was funny, and possibly my favorite part of this movie was Superman's conversation with his dad or his adoptive dad, because. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute, the overall arc of this movie. But he says something like, it's your choices, your actions, that's what makes you who you are. It's not what your parents did or what they want you to be by his biological parents. So what I mean by that is that his biological parents apparently sent him to kill people and to destroy everything. He didn't want that to be true, but it did end up being true. And by the end of the movie, he realizes that his adoptive parents are his parents. Those are the people who looked out for him, wanted the best for him, supported him, encouraged him, made him believe in himself. Those are the people that matter, not those other parents, who, didn't want the best for you. It was a very meaningful message, and then it ended with him having all these memories of him and his adoptive parents. It was really well done. And, it showed this movie is more than just stupid action, stupid villains, stupid monsters. It had some of that, especially the monsters, and some weird science fiction-y stuff too. But it overall it made Superman human. Because like Thunderbolts had the mental health aspect, this movie had the being human aspect. Two very important and honestly strange things to cover in a superhero movie, but they did it, and they did it so well. So Superman was a great movie. I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four in a few weeks as well. Okay, lastly, I started watching the Apple TV series Stick. This stars Owen Wilson. It's a golf show where he is training this 17-year-old kid and taking him around like around the country to tournaments and stuff, leading up to the U.S. Amateur. So we have several characters here. We have Price, who's kind of like a loser, kind of like a Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai, but he's divorced. He lost his kid when he was when the kid was 4. So, he has a lot of trauma there. But he's trying to get his life back on track, and he's trying to help this kid out. And, he makes mistakes and all of that, but he's trying his best. We have his friend Mitz, who is a bit edgy, cocky, has a bit of an attitude. He's grumpy, but it looks like he lost his wife. And he's holding on to that. And he provides the good comic relief, but he keeps Price in line. So you got to appreciate that. We have Elena, who is Santi's mother. And she's really funny as well. She keeps Price on his toes and helps him out, gives him advice. And then Mitz has a crush on her. And in the last episode, I watched the first 6 episodes. He kissed her, and that was really funny. I don't know if they're going to do a full relationship there or not, but there's some potential there. I think they could be kind of cute together in like a weird way. I don't know. I could get down for that. Santi, he's a bit cocky too. He feels like he knows everything. He's a know-it-all, smartass. But he has a lot of talent. He's funny. He has a great dynamic with Price. And then we meet Zero, who worked at this club that one of the stops that they stopped at for the tournament. And then she pretty much just quit herself because this guy was like being a douche to her. And then she joined as Santi's caddy for the tournament, and we had them growing closer together. They kissed. They had actually went ahead and had sex for the first time. But she worked out this deal with Price that basically he would pay her $10,000 if she told Santi what Price wanted him to do, meaning that Santi won't listen to Price. But he will listen to Zero. So he threw in $10,000, and until then he threw in his ring to her, and Sante finds the ring and he confronts them about it, and episode 6 ends off with him saying screw both of you, and he walks off. So yeah, I don't know where things are gonna go for the next 4. Like, is he still gonna want to compete? I mean, we know he's capable of going on his own, so I feel like he'll still compete, but he might be done with Price, and I mean, he looks like he's done with Price and Zero. So I don't know, is him and his mom gonna break off from the others, and maybe even Mitz will go with them too, and the 3 of them will compete? I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm very curious though. But it's a funny show. There's some depth to it though, especially, people's, like, the past between Price and his wife and their kid who died, and then Mitz and his wife, whatever happened there, and then Sante's father, which I feel like we're going to have to meet at some point, right? They're clearly setting us up to meet him, at least you think. But tonight I'm watching the 7 and 8 with my parents, so next week I'll talk about 7, 8, and 9. And then the week after, I'll talk about the finale, and hopefully, and if there's a season 2 renewal, talk about that. But if not, just talk about what I'd like to see in season 2 as well. I'll go into a bit more depth next week when I have more time. But at this point, I'm tired of talking. There's been so much to talk about. But thanks everyone for tuning in to this podcast. I will see you next week, and enjoy the summer. I Turn Pretty season 3. Get your snacks, get your friends, get all of that, and I'll see you next week to talk about the first 2 episodes and more. Bye everyone.